welcome to Phoenix Business Exchange East End Edition, or the Halloween edition, depending where you're sitting and how far you're along. If you're probably in Australia, you're already into the Halloween mode. So let's talk about Phoenix and what can I share with you? Well, I'm going to share a website. So if you're interested in understanding more about us, go to pbex.ca. So that's pbex.ca on the web. And all of a sudden, you're going to see something roll up and you'll see a shared screen. And there is Eric Sonego. He is the member of the week. So if you want to know more about what Eric does, hit the little button in the YouTube section there. And Eric will talk to you about how he brings the reasons and numbers that are out there and or explain CRA to you. And his e-card, just click that. You get all his information, his contact information. So he's an accountant here in Ontario. So that's kind of a good reference point. Smart gentleman and very astute. All right. Oh, you want to join the meeting? Well, easy enough. Go to the Wednesday selection right here. Press it. We're every 8 to 9 Eastern Standard Time and on Wednesdays. Monday morning, we have the Bell's Corners group. And on Thursday mornings, we have the South End group. November 5th, Penny Lee, who's out of the screen right now, out of the screenshot, but she hosts that meeting on the 5th. And this after hours group, all Phoenix members are very welcome to attend. And it's about accountability and help you focus on your goals. And there she is. She's wiggling her hands. And I was going to stop there. And East Trade Winds every Tuesday, 8 to 9, free to attend. It's something that I'm hosting, and you're more than welcome to show up for that. You can come once a week, twice a month, maybe once a month. All good. Friday afternoons, if you've had a hard week and you're just going, my gosh, what else? You just have a free meditation class with Tony at 1:30. Just log into that and just become super chill. And if you're become super chill and you want to move around like Penny Lee, well, there's Penny Lee's classes. She's got the NIA classes, and you're more than welcome to sign up for those. And Penny Lee has something going on November 8th. She is having a potluck. Now, if you're doing that online, it's not going to work out so well because it's kind of hard to share food through the screen. So it's an in-person event. And East End, November 6th, it's an in-person meeting. So what we're doing today on the 6th, it'll be in person at 7:30 at Big's Grill. And Bell's Corners Group is meeting November 18th at High Fives. And again, in person. And then South End Group, River Lounge on November 28th. All these three events are at 7:30 a.m. QR directory for all members. If you hear somebody talking today and you're going, hey, I want to talk to that person and say, I have something I need, or want to find out more information, click that, and then you can sort through who is there. So what does that all provide you? Quick and easy access to contacts. You'll see a QR code over my shoulder. And with that, if you scan that or you scan the QR code that's on the screen, it'll bring you to the next connection. Quick and easy. In the case of my QR code, it's my contact details. Much like the same with Eric Sonego at the very top. And you know what? I'm going to stop the share. But before I do that, I'm going to talk about businesses conducted. So, end of the month, we're getting very close to her. So, send in your stats to Tony. All right. So we've done $143,000 worth of business just between the members, okay? Over $4.7 million worth of business since 2016, just between the members, all right? That's not including referrals that we've provided to other people and connected with other people. E-cards, again, referring to the QR code over my shoulder, 7,795. Not all of them are mine, but it's us as a group. That's how many times people have used that QR code to connect with one of us. All right, so that's the power of these connections, and that's the power of the Phoenix Business Exchange Group. And with that said, I'm going to swing over and let Tony do the educational minute. Tony, over to you, sir.
Well, thank you, Bernie. One of the things that we always are looking for is different ways to make our life a little easier, make our life a little bit more that we get what we want rather than things that are coming just by default. So sometimes when we make an intention, it's a huge thing. We hear this all the time on Instagram, Facebook, and all these different posts. But really, when it comes down to it, when you want something, you need to write it down because it comes out of the right arm. It's usually a giving energy, and it really makes it so it's not just in your ether, like it's in your head. It's got to be written down. One of the most effective things that I've heard done is that if you let's say you want you want to be in a relationship or something, and so one of the examples were that if you wanted a wife, and then this person's having a hard time dating, this person's having a harder time attracting, always going to the wrong parties, and so on. So the example was if you make a list of what you would want in a spouse, in a girlfriend, in a wife. So at the very top of the page, you get a piece of paper. At the top of the page, you would put my future wife, and you list all the qualities that you want in this person. You know, things like I want her to have a sense of humor. You know, I want her to be able to, if I have things going on, I want her to listen to me. I want to be able to her to be spontaneous. Like if I come home and says, "Look, I think we should just go out." Oh, what I was figured I would just stay home and like just be sort of go with the flow a little bit, have fun with her, and some of the things that so that it take time for each other. In other words, they would have no problem just saying, "Yeah, let's just go walk along the canal or walk along the beach or something." Or just have a quiet night. Maybe just sit at home, popcorn and a TV sort of thing. Something very simple, easygoing. I want to someone who be respectful to me. So you write down all of the qualities you would want in this person. And to some people, they could put like 30 different qualities on there. This is what I want. If you could custom make a person, all right? When it's all done, what you do then is you go to the top of the page where it says my future wife, and you cross out wife and you replace it with me. In other words, all the things you've just listed, you have to have in your energy too. You can only attract what you are. You can only attract the very things. If you are feeling not heard, then that's the type of person that you will attract. Somebody will so we got to write it all down, making it so that if you want respect, you are giving respect. The best relationships I have seen is when both of them are looking at how they can make the other person's life better on both parties. It's not just one-sided. The woman is trying to make life easier for her husband, and the husband is trying to make life easy for her wife. Those relationships are 60, 70 years in the making. They will always be together. In fact, who would want to leave a relationship like that, where everything is all about you and you're trying to help the other person? There's nothing more frustrating to a man coming home with flowers, and then the person says, "Oh, you didn't have to do that. They're going to die anyway. I don't know. You shouldn't have spent the money." He won't do it again, and he won't will have a one less thing in which he can show his affection to you or show his recognition to you, because it's just. No matter what it is, you could say, "This is great. I love roses." Would be nice though, perhaps, if it comes up again, if you get a rose tree or a rose bush. And that way I could transplant it in the garden and always enjoy it. That's an idea. So in other words, you're giving alternatives to the very same thing. So you attract what you are. This also works if you want to attract wealth. All the things that rich people do, like go fishing all the time. Right, Matt? Being able to just go out your back door and basically toss your fishing line into the water. You're that close to the waterfront. And then you just list all those things. And it says, "This is my future wealth." So when you list them all, at the very top, you put, "This is my future me." Does everything agree with you? And you'll start to see there's about 5 or 6 or 7 things that, yeah, that's not really me. And that's what you'll be working on. I hope that'll help. Thanks, Bernie.
Tony, awesome. So I'm going to share the link for the live feed onto LinkedIn. And so please put your contact details in that space, what you're looking for, what you're offering. It's a good way to promote. And we're going to do a round robin of, hey, what's going on? What BAMs, referrals have you had? And anything that's up and coming. We're going to start off with Matt, and then we'll go to Susan Ebbs. Matt, over to you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Matthew Ledard from Arizona HVAC Services here. This morning, like to chat a little bit more like what we talked about last week here. I know today's not that cold out. It's actually going to be 23 degrees today with the humidity. So for the end of October, we'll definitely take it. But that time is coming, people, where your furnaces are going to be running and you're not going to want them to break down and you're not going to have the leeway to have a day or two without going cold here. So, right now, got some great promotions where we're able to get you some new equipment installed, defer the payment for you for a little bit if times are tough right now, and allow us to get you a new system in so you don't have to worry and you can have peace of mind over the winter where you're not going to wake up in the middle of the night freezing and pipes frozen and flooded basement and all that kind of good stuff. So um, also get it tuned up. If you're not in the market for a new one right now, it's time to get it tuned up. Have somebody come out there and have a look at it and make sure that everything's working as it should so that you don't run into these situations in the middle of winter. And if you are looking for something like that, feel free to reach out to me directly or give my office a call, and my service department will help you out. If you're looking for something new, I'm the guy. Give me a call. Matt Ledard, Arizona HVAC Services. Quality you can trust, guaranteed. Thank you so much.
Matt, thank you so much. And just as a side note, we are looking for a dog grooming service. And if you have anybody that provides that service, have them connect with Penny Lee. Penny Lee doesn't need the dog grooming, but she does handle the membership drive of Phoenix. And if you know anybody else that wants to be inside the Phoenix space or should be inside the Phoenix space, Penny Lee's the lady to tag. Susan Ebbs and then Dave Beliveau. Susan, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. I am just loving this summer weather. It makes it very difficult for me to come inside and clean my shower. Now, let Meluka help you with that problem. We have a problem. It's called no work, pardon me, a product, not a problem. No work shower. Comes in a bottle like this, but the beauty is you can dilute it and put it in our little spray bottle for ease of administration. It doesn't have chemicals in it. It has a lovely scent and it gets the job done. All you do after you have your shower is spray down the area and it will help to get rid of that scum that builds up on your shower door. It'll help to reduce the production of mold and other things that grow in your shower. So let's clean up our shower. Don't have to have an asthma attack when you do it. And talk to Susan Ebbs from Total Renewal. We have partnered with meluka.com, an international company that can help you. In regards to BAMS, I had some further conversations with Terry Black, who I think is coming back to join us next month, she said. And ongoing business with Penny Lee and probably Wendy Chung when she gets back from all of her travels. And that is all I have to report on this morning. Thank you.
Perfect. Dave and then Susan McGarry. Go ahead, Dave Beliveau.
Hi, everyone. It's Dave Beliveau from Belivo's Quality Frozen Foods. This week's news is, fortunately, turkeys for Christmas. The supplier I deal with needs to know by this Friday what we're going to need for turkeys for Christmas. And I'm just saying, when you get a turkey from the Amish farm community, it's really, really good. Like I don't care if the only chance you're going to have to buy this product is for this Christmas. And then after that is going to be next October. So even if you're not a fan of having a traditional turkey dinner for Christmas, this is your opportunity to get one. So what I do is, we're only two in our family. And what I do is I take a whole turkey and I split it down the middle, where I make two halves and I freeze them like that. So have company for four, take a half a turkey, do it on the rotisserie or do it on the big green egg or do it some justice that way is very good. And then you get 2 meals out of the deal. But it's our opportunity to get one for the rest till next October 2025. So don't just think, oh, I don't need Christmas turkey. It's just you want to get one from the Amish farm. This is your opportunity. So that's it for me. News this week. Other than that, I gave a referral to Dwight, the caterer. One of my customers needs an event done for her church. So it was a group of 75 people that you might get if things go well for him. And other than that, I'm going to be booking my appointment with Sam for my tires. So everybody needs to know that you got to put your winter tires on to be safe on the roads. And this week has been a challenge for me. I been through a colonoscopy yesterday. I don't know if anybody get one of those. It's not
Smile for the camera.
Wow.
Smile for the camera.
It's not the procedure that's the problem. It's the day before the procedure. Oh my God. You can't eat. You gotta drink 4 liters of shit. It's hard. Like when you're not drinking that much, it's very hard to do. So anyway, the easy part was the operation, and they found 5 polyps, so they're going to get that analyzed. So hopefully things will be okay that way. And then you got to get blood work, and then you got to get flu shots, and then oh my God, it's been a health week this week for being almost 65. That's what happens. So anyway, have fun, you guys, this week. Glad to attend the meeting today, and hopefully we'll get some referrals to you. Thank you.
Dave, what size of turkeys do they offer from the Amish?
You can get 3 sizes. We usually go with the smaller size. It's I think there's a 5 to 7 kilo. That's the smallest one, which is nice. And there's 7 to 9, and then there's 9 to 11. Perfect. There's three sizes, but the 5 to 7 is the one that I go for because it's.
Thank you, sir. Susan McGarry, and then Sam. Susan, over to you.
Thank you so much, Bernie. That was a beautiful segue, Dave, because Susan McGarry with Pure Trim. I'm your health and wellness coach with this group. You don't need to drink yucky stuff if you take experience, because this helps you to eliminate regularly, ongoing, naturally, and healthy. Also, we have these incredible bars that have natural fiber in there too, which if you eat fiber, that will help you go as well. So you won't have to drink copious amounts of that gunk that you're talking about. Having said that, I love what Matthew was talking about earlier. Very important to keep your heating checked so it doesn't break down. You want to also make sure that your heating is tuned, and that same goes with your body. You want to make sure that your body doesn't break down, and you want to make sure that you keep your body tuned. And I provide health and wellness supplements just for that. So at the same time of taking care of your heating, take care of your body. Susan with Pure Trim, and this week I gave a referral to Penny. Thank you, Penny. My brother is actually going to have an official wedding, thanks to you. They were just going to go to the Justice of the Peace in Renfrew and just sign a piece of paper. And I said, hey, I know the perfect person to do something unique and special for you. So Penny's going to do that for us. Went and visited Sam. Perfect. I had to go to Ennis Road and pick up a used headlight, the whole entire bracket of light. Normally $500, got it for $100. Then I went over, saw Sam. He put it in for me right away. I was in and out quickly. Thank you so much, Sam, for that. And ongoing business with Dave, Eric, Tony, indirectly with Penny. And I would love to get one of your turkeys, Dave, because I've had them. They're absolutely incredible. Huge difference from store-bought. So thank you so much for sharing that. Put me down for one. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Sam, and then Jacqueline. Sam, over to you.
Thank you, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. Sam Stewart, ConnectedCars.ca. There's my contact information in the chat. Well, you know what I do. Dash cameras, my specialty. Install them right to the fuse panel of the car. No wires hanging down, nice and neat. Also do minor repairs, oil changes, brake jobs, things like that. And well, this time of year, as Dave mentioned, you should be booking your tire exchange for your winter tires installation. I don't know what it's like in Scotland in the wintertime, but where we live, we get lots of snow, and you don't want to be caught in a snowstorm in this part of Ontario without snow tires. You can also buy something called all-weather tires. I have two customers that have them now. I have done some research on them, and if you drive and extensively, not a vehicle or not a tire that I would recommend. But if you drive only occasionally and you stay out of big snowstorms, they are perfectly adequate. So if you want to talk to me about that, I gladly pass along what I know about all-weather tires. Let's see here. BAMS wise, yes, Susan was here on Monday and installed that new headlight for her. From what I know, she mentioned early before the meeting started that it's working fine for her, and that's what I want to know. Thank you very much for the work there, Susan. And Eric Sonego has referred me to his wife. She has a hood latch issue, and I'm going to be doing that in the next little while. We'll just book a time when his wife can come in and see me. That's it for me, Sam Sturris, ConnectedCars.ca, today's mobile electronics without the cost of the vehicle, and lots more.
Sam, thank you so much. Jacqueline, and then Eric. Jacqueline, over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. I'm busy taking a long, deep breath and lifting my shoulders, take them back, dropping them down. My dad and mom are coming into town for 5 days because they are at the Christmas event at the Sportsplex, and I needed to get ready for them. Susan, I'm busy cleaning bathrooms. And when you clean a bathroom, you think about what took me so long to get this done. Maybe I should hire a housekeeper. Maybe I should ask my daughter if she'll come and clean the house, which is a big, I don't think so, Mom. Thank you for asking. And the key is to simply ask. When I have clients who ask the question, is it possible for me to do a renovation? Let's talk about it. What would you like to do? I have clients who have gone over to friends and said, I want exactly what they have. I took photos. Let's talk about what that refinance can look like for you. When you're looking for strategies for your mortgage money, you got to contact your mortgage honey. And Bernie, thank you so much. I have an interview set up with Bobby Wasserman. And I very much appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome, Jacqueline. Eric, over to you, because it's the perfect time to get you all in the midst of searching, and then we'll talk to Penny Lee. Eric, over to you, sir. That's a very quiet accountant you are.
Sorry.
How about waiting on CRA?
Sorry, I was sneezing before and I've turned my mic off and then I forgot
That's
to put it
okay.
back on.
We appreciate that.
Eric Sonego of the accounting firm of Eric Sonego Professional Group. We are located in Canada, but I have clients from Vancouver to Newfoundland.
Wow.
I have clients from all over the place. I don't have anybody in Saskatchewan or not, and no, I have a client in Alberta. I don't have anybody in Saskatchewan, but maybe it's because I don't agree with the politics of the Western Canada. But I have some clients in Vancouver, but the West is something that we never marketed. We specialize in small, medium-sized companies. We also do tax returns for individuals. And we also work for people in other parts of the world who were once Canadian residents and leave Canadian property here. And that's what I was working on today. And my job as an accountant is different than if they had done this themselves. My job as an accountant is when I do the form, I look for the weaknesses in the form. And this is an individual who left Canada in 2005, did not sell the house that they lived in. They rented it. They went to the States in 2005 and have not filed a Canadian tax return in the meantime. And they told me yesterday, that's because we didn't make any money in the rents. Well, when I send this form to the government, it's going to hit. It's going to bring bells. It's going to have like the 1812 overture in CRA. So and my job is not to insult the tax department. Push it. Be aggressive, but don't insult it. And that's the job of an accountant, is to put those parameters in. I put my contact information on the chat, and I hope that you are not like these guys here. By the way, if in my office you see that you have a purple file, that's bad news. We put purple files for people that we think are going to be going to the courts.
Oh, it's always good to have a tell, Eric. It's always good to have a tell. You're in a bucket of both trouble.
I'm working for, I'm doing right now. I'm working with Tony. I'm working with Lloyd. I'm trying to get a BAM with Susan, but Susan drops her products and runs away. See, so that Dave Bellavo, he has my staff trained, and when he drops over a box of steaks, I don't see the box. They put it in the freezer, they've done everything, and then they tell me 2 days later, oh, it was here. The steaks are in the freezer. So that's another one that doesn't stop to say hello, but maybe there's hope. Have a great week.
Hey, you were with a client. I want to bring you for a ride in the car.
Eric, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so glad the purple people eater isn't active. Penny Lee and then Tony. Penny Lee, over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, Penny Lee Prevo, the Dancing Motivator, co-founder of the Graduate Thrivers Incorporated with my business partner, Liz M. Raymond. Wanted to remind you that I am doing movement practice at conferences. So if you know people that are running workshops or conferences, want to add a little bit of fun and movement, the key to the fact that there's movement at a conference is that when you engage more of your senses, your memory is triggered and the information is cemented. There's studies that they have done with children that learn for 20 minutes and move for 20 minutes, how they retain the information much better. So what I'd like you to think about this week is people that are running conferences that would like to add a little bit of fun and movement. I would love to do the movement segment at the conferences. I used to do that before COVID, and now I'm trying to get that rolling again. And I do have one coming up this weekend, which is a lot of fun. So also, I have a wedding happening tomorrow on Halloween in Hawkesbury. And the reason it's in Hawkesbury is because the couple's from Montreal and the paperwork is very lengthy in Quebec to get married. So keep that in mind if you know anybody who are looking to get married that are in Quebec and would like to have a quick and easy ceremony. I do make it happen ceremonies, make it legal, I should say, here in my home studio or near the border. Graduate is where success takes flight and movement is medicine. Thank you. Oh, and you want to know who I've done business with?
Yep.
So I had a BAM with EMA last week. We are working on actually a couple of projects together. Also, I have a lady from the post office that I was telling about my experience with Tony. So Tony, Stacy is going to be connecting with you because I told her you do readings from a distance. And I have ongoing business with Susan Ebbs. Susan, I have to call you because my daughter has the floor cleaner and she had some questions. So I need to talk to you about that. Who else do I have ongoing business with? And of course, I love the Pure Trim products. I use them regularly. So thank you, Susan, for the constant reminders of the amazing products that Pure Trim offers. So that's it for me. And yeah, have a great week.
Kelly, thank you so much. Tony, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Bernie. Wendy was online a little while ago, and she was on her way to Toronto. She was on the 401, and she says, "Sorry, I lost my signal," so she could cover for me. So I'll do that. Just in my experience itself with Wendy, she's an amazing person that follows up. With her being a realtor, she can find so many different ways. She's got so much experience, and it's amazing how well that she looks into what the client really wants. And even before they think they want it, she's already got a solution for it and whatever. And I've seen that actually happening in action. So if you know anybody that's looking to either buy a home or sell one, get a hold of Wendy, and she would be a good person to start with. And we all know realtors, but what you really want is not what people do; it's how they do it. And this is why she's one of the top agents in the city. There are people that only sell like 5 houses in a year. She does that every month. So it shows in the performance and the follow-ups that she does. She also does international realty. So if there's something in Costa Rica where she is, so that would be a good place for a retreat, Penny Lee. You do a lot of your retreats, and I've heard so many good things about it. So the location is a big part of it too. So Wendy Chung, looking to make your real estate experiences great. As for me, what I want to talk about today is crystals. People ask me all the time, what is the big deal with crystals? How come crystals have such an effect on us? Well, we are vibrational beings. We are people that change our moods, and our vibration and our energy changes. But in a crystal, it doesn't change. It's the same. Like here's one here, and it's called labradorite. Labradorite itself it helps with achieving goals. So how does it do that? Well, the whole idea there is that it keeps away any distractions from other people. Like if you go to a party and there's a lot of negative people there, we're like open sponges, and this is why we don't feel very good after talking with a negative person. They're always talking about drive-by shootings. You're always talking about all the horrors of the world and so on. And because our energy is so open, after hearing this for about 3 minutes, I'm lucky to last that long. It doesn't vibrate, because then your energy changes. So what the labradorite does is it maintains that and keeps away that type of negativity. It's also great for psychic attacks. And what does that mean? If somebody wishes you ill will, there's someone either in the family or a friend that is jealous of you. Let's say you do like 5 times the business than everybody else does. Then if there's any jealousy, they're not doing it on purpose, but they would think that, oh, I'm so envious of whatever, Susan or David, because of all the numbers that he's doing. And that's what that does. It keeps away those types of negative energy that comes to you. So by wearing this bracelet, it's a nice protection stone. Okay. So this is what I usually will bring to family gatherings or gatherings of some sort where I do readings. And that way, when I'm in there talking, they could go through a lot of the many choices of bracelets that I have that do different things. Okay. Tony Jennis from Higher Self, we are here to raise your spirits.
Tony, thank you so much. My name is Bernie, and Creative Insight is the name of the company, and we connect people business to business. Got a podcast on the go. We're into season 3. We've launched season 3 as of this week. So cruising at a little more altitude here. Also involved in the Property Wizard podcast and East Trade Winds. If you want to hear or see what's been happening, there's a link into the subscription. Another quick example of what we do at Creative. You find business opportunities that come up, and there's here you go, at Hive, right off of Maitland, just south of the Queensway. And it's just about a 1 block in, and 1734 Courtwood Crescent. And reach out to Ferris. They're still doing walkthroughs, so you can get acclimatized. And it's a collab space. That's a community also. So it's wraps a community around you. But if you need a desk for an hour, or you need a desk for a day, that's the place to be, or even a Dropbox. And I'm going to swing over now to Madam Catherine Hurd, because she's presenting today. And Catherine, over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Hi everybody. So I'm gonna start by explaining my background, and there is method in my madness. So in my background, you'll find a 7-foot purple and white panda. Why do I do that? I put him there, or a variation of him, because he's a focal point. He's what makes me stand out in my business, because you may not remember me, but you'll remember the panda. And the reason for this is not just because I'm filling time, is because I do that for your business. I don't necessarily have to give you a panda, because pandas are not relevant to you. My business is Purple Panda Creative Marketing, so it's relevant to me. But I give you that focal point in your business so that people know who you are, what you are, why you are, so that they want to connect with you, they want to buy from you, they want to refer you. So that's, in a nutshell, what I do. I am a marketer, and I basically connect you with your audience. What I wanted to talk to you today is about content. So you're all creating content in some way, shape, or form, whether you're sending out email marketing, whether you're doing social media posts, whether you've got blog articles, you've got anything that's written on a website, you've got business cards, you've got flyers, even just having a one-to-one or a BAM with somebody, you are putting out content. What you need to know when you're putting out content is you are selling your business. And that maybe kind of seems obvious, but everything you say must resonate with the brand values of your business. So I know sometimes you'll have a conversation with somebody and you don't necessarily think about it, and you say something that comes across as negative. It may not be about your business. It might be a question of, there's a competitor that somebody has worked with, and your response to a statement they make is, oh yes, they're a terrible company, or they're very expensive, or whatever. Those kind of comments, although to you personally they make sense, I'm going to bet my bottom dollar that to most of you, they do not resonate with your brand values, and your brand values are positivity, and they are basically to help and connect with other people that are in need of your products and services. So the first piece of advice I will give you is think before you speak, or before you write content. That applies to, like, I don't know the Canadian format, but I know this happens a lot in America, is people have very strong political opinions. So avoiding putting out content about political opinions. The same applies to religion and sport, because to a lot of people, these are triggers, in which case you could start a war on your social media profile, or if you start sending out in emails, what will happen is people will start blacklisting your company because they don't resonate with your opinion. So try and make sure what you're putting out, although it's personal and reflective of you and your business, that it isn't something that is going to upset people. And this might be preaching to the converted. It's just kind of something that we all take for granted and kind of forget about. So it's always worth reminding. The other thing is, people are always kind of scrambling for content. And I don't know whether you're one of those people who's always going, what do I post today? I know I need to get a post out. I don't know what to write. And you kind of get yourself all stressed. Did you know that it is acceptable to repurpose your content? So you could put a post out, I don't know, 3 months ago that talks about a workshop that you're doing. If you're going to rerun that workshop in 3 months' time, reuse that same post. It could be a piece of advice you've given somebody about a product, or it could be you're talking about the right thing or the right way to apply for a mortgage. All these kinds of things you can repurpose. Whether you do it exactly by copy paste or whether you slightly reword it is up to you. Just be careful if you are rewording, if you're not rewording it, that if you've put in something like about spring cleaning your home, that in winter you don't put out spring cleaning your home, you rephrase it slightly so that you can just put in, clearing your home out or something. So just kind of be aware of those things. But it is really vital that you consider reusing the content. But even more than that, for those of you who do webinars, that do podcasts, that create any form of video content, those are really important to repurpose. And I don't mean take a 20, 30-minute video and just keep posting it out every couple of months. Cut them into pieces. So it might be a question of, you do, for somebody like Tony, a 5-minute teaser of his meditation class or his workshop. But for other people, it could be, there's a really important thing that you said in your webinar or in your podcast that you want people to remember. So you slice it up and you use it as a YouTube short, an Instagram reel, a Facebook story. It might even be something you put into your email newsletter. It could be a video that you add onto your website. Just make sure that you reuse content, and you don't just reuse it for the sake of reusing it. There's a point to using it. But make sure that you're always sharing your content, especially things like podcasts. Because, I mean, if you use Bernie as an example, when he does a podcast with you, he spends a good few months after repurposing your content. And that's great for Bernie because it gives him content. But it's important that everybody else takes that content, reuses it, and gets people to look at it. Not only because it looks good for that person, but it also then, in turn, repurposes for Bernie so that he gets new clients that go and check out Creative Insight either as a subscriber or want to join his podcast as an interview, or they want to connect with people that he's interviewed. So it's really good that you keep on top of these things and you don't just go, it's a once and done. But your whole idea is that you're educating people. You're giving them insight into you as a person. You're giving them insight into your business. But you have to connect with your audience. So it's not just a question of, you know, I install dash cams, buy one. It's, why do you want to install a dash cam? So you're looking at it and you're going, okay, have you ever been on the freeway and seen, you know, somebody driving too quickly? And, you know, you want to have the dash cam that does that to, you know, work out who's going to be covered for the insurance for the accident. Or that might be slightly wrong, Sam. I'm kind of free talking here. So, but the same with kind of all of you, it's thinking about the purpose and why people want your products and services. Because if you've probably all seen, you know, commercials, whether it's on TV, whether it's on billboards, bus stops, wherever, and you've looked at that commercial and you've gone, this doesn't really apply to me. That's because they haven't tailored it to you. It's too generic. So make sure that whatever content you put out, wherever you put it, that the person you want to speak to or the people you want to speak to are at the heart of that message. Because if somebody recognizes that they have a problem that you solve, all of a sudden, they're going to follow your content. Some people will initially buy it, depending on what it is. But you need to give people that opportunity to recognize your brand, to follow your content, to subscribe to your newsletter, your YouTube channel, whatever, so that they can gradually build. It does, it often takes 13 touches before somebody will buy a product or service from you. So give people those, 13 digital touches that allow people to connect with you, because you want people to buy products and services, not just because you all want to make money, but because you're all brilliant people with amazing skill sets that you want to be able to help and support other people. So if you want to do that, you need to connect. You need to be clear with your messaging. You need to be consistent with your messaging and put yourself where your people are. So if you've got like, sorry, excuse me. So somebody like Dave selling steaks, he can sell steaks to people that look at him on Facebook. But you might find that people who want to buy accountancy products, you're not going to find them on Facebook. You might find them on LinkedIn. So it's working out which platform they're on. Are they in different groups? Because you'll all have different remits that you work. So some people will work within one province. Some people will only work within Canada. Other people can work internationally. So make sure that the pages and groups that you share your content in, which is where your audience are going to be, are relevant. Don't just post for the sake of posting. follow up with people, engage with other people's content, and just be you, because that's what you guys do. You're all nice people. Just talk to people, communicate with people, be relevant, educate, and that's kind of you. I don't know how much more time I've got, so I've kind of stopped.
Doing pretty good, Kat. If you want to do a wrap up or a highlight on a few points, quick pointers for people.
I can. If I give you a good pointer, it's really important now, because there are so many people that use mobile devices to communicate with things. It is really important that you make sure all your video content has captions on it. It is really important that where possible, and if you don't know how to do this, then let's have a BAM and I will teach you, is that you use, I always call it audio descriptions, but that's not the right word. Use alternative text, so that if you're working with somebody who maybe can't see the graphic you put up, screen readers can't read graphics, so you need to be able to use the alternative text to be able to do that. So if you need to know how to do that, or you need to know how to do any of the things I've mentioned, I'm happy to jump on a call with you and sort something out. I think it's just one of those things that you just need to think about who you're talking to and put out what works for them, whether it's the captions, whether it's the descriptions. It might even be the type of post you put out. So it might be, if you want to appeal to, you know, people with a sense of humor, you maybe use graphics that have got humor in them. If you're talking to people about something that's very serious, you want to be able to use serious stuff. It's just, you need to know who you're talking to and how to talk to them. And I'm more than happy to sit with you and work out some of these things and help you get as many sales as you like. I'm not saying you have to use my services, but I am more than happy to have a conversation with you and give you as much help and guidance as you want. How's that?
Kat, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Does anybody have any questions for Kat? We got a couple minutes. Go ahead, Penny Lee.
So Kat, a couple of things. You had mentioned about repurposing, and it's funny because that's not something that I have, like, I thought about it, but I thought it was a lot more work. And on one of my friends' pages on Facebook, she has once a month a reminder to check in with yourself, you know, and it's the same image all the time. And I'm like, okay, that's really weird. She's posting, but at least she's posting something, I guess, is the point, right? There's something being put out there consistently. And regardless of whether it's new stuff or the same stuff, at least there's something.
Right. So if I tell you that the platforms operate on a policy of original content, so this is why none of the platforms personally like to have external links. So they don't really like links to your website or articles and stuff. It's because it's not original content. You can share that same message as much as you like, and all the platforms are happy. What I would try and do where possible is switch up the image. So for example, I share something about Tony every week to do with his membership, but he does it with videos. So we have 4 or 5 videos. So every week, although the same message goes out, we use a different piece of video content. It's one of the main reasons I would say do that is not because you can't use the same image, is Instagram. So if anybody's ever looked at Instagram, it works on a grid series. If people keep seeing the same image, they will never go and look at that content, because they'll go, oh, they're just posting the same thing every time. Okay. So the idea is, by switching up the image, it shows people it's something new to look at, even if the wording inside the message is exactly the same. You want to encourage them to look.
Okay, cool. I definitely do want to have a BAM with you, but something else that has stuck out in your presentation. I always knew in business that, you know, you don't really talk about religion and you don't really talk about politics, but you said sport. And so are you talking about professional sports teams and bringing up content like that, or are you talking about, because I'm in fitness, so I don't, that is a
Okay.
sport, so
No.
I'm just trying to get my head wrapped around what to share and what not to share, because
Right.
I don't want to piss people off.
No.
I would
So
like them to become an exercise.
point out my total miscommunication there. Yeah, so when I'm saying sport, by all means talk about fitness, whether you're talking about aerobics, tennis, whatever. The problem you have is when you start talking about specific sporting teams, because that's where there's a rival divide. Because, you know, if you've got one person supports this team and one person supports that team, that's when it causes conflict. So as long as you're talking in general terms, that's fine. It's when you make it very specific that you could cause an issue.
Okay, and then one more thing, because that brought something up, is sometimes it's good to put controversial content out there because it gets people talking about stuff. So curious on your thoughts about that.
It is, but it depends what you're talking about. I mean, for example, I have a connection who posted his opinion on LinkedIn about supporting the Ukrainians over the war. LinkedIn's response to that was exceptionally controversial, therefore breach their terms and conditions, and he lost his LinkedIn account.
Okay.
So yes, you can do it. Just be careful how controversial it is and whether it's something that's going to upset the platform.
Okay, cool. Very good. Thank you. We will book a BAM.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Anybody else have a question for Kat? Kat, thank you so much. You know what? Set up a BAM. If thought pops in the old noodle and says, "Hey, I want to know about this," that's a Zoom call away. So there you go. And folks, I'm going to wrap us up with a quote for the day. If you really look closely, most overnight successes took a long time. That was courtesy of Steve Jobs. It looks easy.